Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that completely flips a really stubborn societal narrative on its head. We're talking about a boy and a girl who are just absolute, unapologetic best friends. Now, I know it sounds incredibly simple, right? But as you'll see, the pure simplicity of a bond that exists entirely beyond all those typical labels, well, that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. We're looking at a connection that literally thrives without any of the tags we usually rush to slap onto things.
So it really brings up a fascinating question. Is it possible to share everything without sharing romance? There's this constant background noise in our society. It's almost like an expectation from the outside world that if two people of the opposite sex are deeply connected, it absolutely must lead to romance. But this story, it gives us a beautiful counter-narrative. It really asks us to pause and consider a totally different kind of depth, one that doesn't need a romantic spark to be profoundly meaningful.
Let's dive into part 1. A bond beyond labels. Okay, so it all started with this absolute bedrock of trust. They shared secrets, they confided their deepest, most unfiltered thoughts in one another, totally without the fear of judgment. And crucially, without the complicated strings that romantic entanglement can sometimes bring into the mix. To share a secret is basically handing over a piece of your vulnerability to someone else. And for them, it was just pure, comfortable trust, kind of like a secure vault.
But hey, it definitely wasn't all just heavy, serious heart-to-hearts. They shared laughter too. Their days were literally filled with effortless joy, creating endless memories built on a shared sense of humor. Laughter is honestly a phenomenal glue in any relationship, and for these two, it was the daily soundtrack of their connection. It's that easy, breezy joy you only ever get when you are completely and entirely comfortable just being yourself with someone. And on top of that, they shared dreams. They cheered each other on through every single milestone, whether it was a graduation, a huge career pivot, or some crazy dream to travel the world. They were there. Like any true best friends, they fiercely supported each other's aspirations. They were actively investing in each other's futures. But here's the kicker. They did it without needing to build a shared romantic life to care genuinely about where the other person was headed.
Which brings us to part 2, the romantic expectation.
Because, of course, wherever they went, people would look at them, smile that knowing smile, and make an automatic assumption, you two are definitely in love. It's almost a knee-jerk reflex for observers, isn't it? People look at that level of closeness, the inside jokes, the shared secrets between a boy and a girl, and boom, they immediately project romantic expectations right onto the friendship. It's a huge testament to just how deeply ingrained this romantic script is in our culture. It's like people literally couldn't compute that a connection this deep wasn't romantic.
But instead of getting all defensive or letting it ruin their dynamic, they would just laugh it off. They had this perfect, witty response. If we ever fall in love, we'll be the last to know. Honestly, it's brilliant. By joking about it, they totally deflected the pressure from the outside world. They refused to let society's need for a neat, tidy label force them into an awkward space. They knew exactly who they were to each other, and frankly, that was more than enough. Moving on to part 3, the purest relationship.
So let's look at the timeline here. 1 year in, best friends. 5 years in, sharing absolutely everything. And 10+ years down the line, nothing changed. As the years rolled by, the solid foundation they built only grew stronger, leaving all those skeptics still waiting. All those people waiting for the big movie moment where they finally realized they were in love? Yeah, they were left totally disappointed. The absence of romance wasn't just a passing phase. It was actually the defining, enduring feature of their whole connection.
And this brings us right to a core truth we really need to highlight. Not every beautiful bond between a boy and a girl has to be called romantic love. We can actually appreciate a connection for exactly what it is, without constantly waiting for it to evolve into something else. Friendship isn't just some waiting room for romance, you guys. It is a profound, beautiful, and complete destination all on its own.
Ultimately, the purest relationship is simply a friendship that never needed a label to validate it. It's a connection secure enough to stand firm against absolutely everyone else's expectations. It remains exactly what it was meant to be from day one, a steady, unshakable bond that exists beautifully on its own terms.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a thought to chew on. Do you believe a boy and a girl can be just best friends? Or is society actually right to always look for the romance? I encourage you to look closely at the connections in your own life that maybe defy easy categorization. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and hey, thanks so much for exploring this with me today.